Good morning, good afternoon. Thanks a lot for having me here. So I'm Joana RESENDE. I work as a Pro-rector for Planning, Entrepreneurship and Knowledge Transfer at the University of Porto. And I'm also at the board of directors of our Science and Technology Park. So for those of you who don't know Porto, here is a glimpse of our city. This is a city in the north of the country, and it's becoming a vibrant hub for entrepreneurship and innovation, especially in the field of IT. So I won't spend much time talking to you about the city, but it's a nice city, as you can see for the picture. And besides that is also, a vibrant ecosystem. Our University of Porto is the major university in town. So we host more than 30,000 students. 90% of them are international students, and we have 14 schools and 48 research units. We are also part of one of the first alliances in the European universities, in the recent European Universities Initiative of the European Commission. That is the Alliance for Global Health, the European Alliance for Global Health. So what about the University of Porto, and what we look when we relate to stakeholders, which is the topic for today's conversation. It's very nice that I'm coming after Arno, because we could not be more aligned. So this is about academia, industry, vision, and in fact, University of Porto shares a lot. Our vision for the future is completely aligned with what Arno just showed us. And in particular, in the area of research, we are very worried that we are doing research with impact. And so one of the things we are trying to understand is how much we contribute to build sustainable societies. We believe this is crucial for our business, for the business ideas that get out of the university to be successful, because after all, they need to solve needs. They have to have a clear business proposition, value proposition, and for that they need to solve people's needs. So, and when you look at the impact of our research, this is the result of a very recent survey we did for our 48 research centers and for our 13 schools, and we asked them to map their major activities for the next year according to the SDGs, and you see that we have a lot of activities contributing to all of them. So this is one of our major objectives: research with impact. And why we want to do that? First, because we want the knowledge that is created in our university to be able to solve people's problems on one hand. On the other hand, we also want to become a university that actually contributes in a direct way to promote smart and sustainable growth. And for that, we have a vibrant ecosystem of spin-offs, of inventors, and we try to nurture that ecosystem with our structures in order to give the conditions for this business to grow and to create highly qualified jobs and to create ideas with great market value. So, Arno was showing us 3 dimensions in which collaboration between university and industry, and I would be more broad here, but 3 dimensions where collaboration between universities and external stakeholders is very important. They go very much aligned with what University of Porto sees as the university, our avenues to collaborate with external stakeholders. And those are 3. Essentially, on the area of education, we, of course, collaborate with external stakeholders in building the talent that is needed for them. And we do that with early stage students, with research students, but also through lifelong learning opportunities. And we are very active into reskilling and upskilling our job market force and assuring that we are ready to follow up on the transitions occurring in the labor market. Another area where we collaborate a lot is the area of culture. So we have been focused here pretty much on academia business cooperation, but we also recently became very active into promoting the culture aspects, because we believe it's also important that we give students the tools they need to become responsible citizens, and for that culture is a key ingredient. And we have very interesting projects on this dimension, like we are building cultural corridors where we collaborate with the cultural institutions of our town, and we are planning to extend this to Europe, actually, to build European cultural corridors where students have access to all the cultural institutions. And so we see, this is a point I would like to make. I know today we are pretty much focused on industry collaborations, but when we speak of collaboration with external stakeholders, we actually have a much broader view than simply industry. And so on the dimension of innovation, and I should say here research and innovation, we try to collaborate with stakeholders on joint R&D projects, of course, also the intellectual property, already mentioned this, and we are mostly focused in working with them to increase the TRL of our technologies that we are developing together. The university, when working alone, has a lot of difficulties to go through the Death Valley, but when we collaborate with industry, by working together, this makes our life easier for all of us. And then, as I was saying before, one strategic objective that is coming up in our next strategic plan is that we should be, and this is so aligned with what Harno was showing us, that universities should be. We want to be active actor in promoting the smart growth of our region. How do we do this? We do this by creating highly qualified jobs. We do this by creating graduates that are ready to be the best professionals and the best persons in what they do, and also by creating companies like spin-offs and working on collabs that are interface institutions with companies and university actors. So stakeholders, I heard internal stakeholders, I heard external stakeholders. Claudia was telling us about this. And the internal stakeholders that can work with our, when we speak of internal stakeholders, if I was, an innovator or entrepreneur that wants to create a new project, who can work with me in the university in order to facilitate, or in order just to advise me that what you are doing, well, you need to work more to convince me. We have structures inside university for that. One of them is our Science and Technology Park, which is not pure space. I have some examples on the presentation. I will not cover everything here in my talk, but we don't see our Science and Technology Park as just space. It is much more about the ambience. It is much more about the ecosystem of bringing into the same space university, firms, anchor projects that have been in the market for a long time, with startups and even students who are just starting their business idea. We also have a central TTO that we hear TTO a lot today, but we don't, our vision is not that technology transfer is just one thing that goes in one direction. So although we use TTO because it's, the conventional name, we believe much more in co-creation. So we believe that we all together participate in the creation of knowledge, not a unilateral process from universities to the academia. This is certainly not what we believe. And because of that, this TTO does the standard things that TTOs do, like IP protection and all that, but we also work a lot on fostering entrepreneurship. So this is where we have the program for our university spin-offs, and we have also some local structures.
Joana, excuse me, you have 2 minutes to go.
Okay, thank you, Claudio. So I have some presentation of our science park, and I would like to focus this on the connection to the territory. Our science park is spread across the town. We actually have 4 locations. This is the picture of them. You are all welcome to visit when you come to Porto, but I would like to talk to you about the connections to the territory, because this is about external stakeholders. And in particular, our headquarters, the picture you see on the top, they are located in what we call the Porto Innovation District. And in the same, around a 1 square mile, a kilometer square, you can find 38,000 students, not only from our university, 40,000 professionals working on science, technology, health, and 26 research and innovation centers. And so this is such a special environment, and this explains why Porto, we are completely full right now. We have more than 200 startups growing here. We have people from all over the world working here, and this is actually already resulting in building economic growth to the territory. And so we work closely um, with the municipality. We work close with our R&D centers. We work close with large corporations. And after all, this is how we reach figures like this. So our impact on the GDP is already about 300 millions, and we are creating directly and indirectly more than 6,000 jobs, with most of our companies exporting to the whole world. And so just to finish, I was saying before that it's not about the space, it's much more about the ambience and the ecosystem. And this is an example of the programs we promote. So for instance, right now we are running the Data Challenge. This is such a business idea, but we work with large corporations in companies, and we have 6 verticals, and we are bringing students to work with our startups in finding solution to problems in the area of data in very different industries. So and this is just an example. There are many more. I don't know how I'm doing on time. I guess I already over and my time is over. But yeah. So also international cooperation is crucial for this. Also social responsibility. So you have a wide range of stakeholders. And the important thing, just as a final message, is that we remain open and grow together.